A note on sleep, I usually like to recommend people cease caffeine at least 10 hours before they plan on going to bed. So if you plan on going to bed at midnight, then have your last dose of caffeine no later than 2 p.m. That kind of thing. That helps make sure that your sleep is not being impacted. A lot of times people say, oh, I can have a little bit of caffeine and I can still go right to sleep. That's great. You probably can, but your sleep quality is significantly reduced when you have caffeine in your system. So you might have the same sleep quantity, but the sleep quality will be a lot impacted, and that's going to trickle down to the next day, feeling more fatigued and all this kind of stuff. And then it perpetuates the vicious cycle of needing more caffeine, because now you're going to need it to keep going, and you're going to make your sleep worse, and then you're going to need more caffeine, you're going to make it worse. So in general, 10 hours before you plan to go to sleep, that's a good time to call it quits. I do know in some cultures, they might have like a little nightcap of caffeine where they, like a little cup of coffee, or maybe it's like a cup of tea. Usually in those instances, it's a small amount, and it can work, especially if it's tea. It's very forgiving because it also has other stuff in there that makes it a little bit less nefarious as far as like sleep is concerned. If you are going to have a little bit of caffeine later in the evening, I would recommend it in the form of a tea rather than like a pure caffeine kind of substance.